Recording in progress.
Good day, fellow rockers and monsters. Welcome to the Metal Connection, the connection to all things metal. I'm J-Dub, and I'm just going to be doing a CD update, basically. I think I got about 12 here or something like that. But yeah, I'll try to power through these here. But first up, I got Riot. I got Riot's Thundersteel from 1988. And 1988, I believe. Yeah, it is 88. And this is just a repress. It's not an original from 88, but yeah, it's pretty easy to get this Riot. I've known I've been able to get it easily for a while, and I just all of a sudden was like, hey, I can pick it up this time for $10. So I got that. Actually, and then I got a couple. I got a couple Tyrants here. It's actually new to me because there's two different Tyrants. There's this Tyrant and another Tyrant, and I was confused between the two. I'm like, okay, I know the one Tyrant, but then as I was looking through like the discogs, like the discography, I'm like, wait, that's not the same Tyrant. It's a different Tyrant. So I'm completely new to this Tyrant. It's the other Tyrant that I was familiar with. They're more of a speed band, and this is kind of more of a thrashy. So yeah, I got both Tyrants here, 87 and 85 and 80. This one's 80. No, this one's 85. This one's 87. So cool band to get into. Tyrant, some kind of darker thrash, like a culty, kind of more into like a Grave, Valley of Death, Bells of Hades, Legion of the Dead, that kind of stuff. Thrash. And then the same seller also stocked a couple Hellstars that I needed. Just by chance, I have a couple Hellstars and I needed a couple more from the 80s. So just by chance, he had the two that I needed. So I'm really freaking happy to get these two Hellstars that I didn't have, the Nosferatu and a Distant Thunder. I forget the years on them. I think a Distant Thunder is 88, 87. This one's 89. The last one Hellstar did in the 80s. And then Hellstar didn't even return until I think 95. So they had a break between 89 and 1995, a 6-year break. But cool. I'm really happy to complete my 80s Hellstar collection. Pumped about that. We got a newer band here. I Set to Kill Masks. I love I Set to Kill. It's a female fronted band. And then there's a metalcore guy that does background scream sort of thing, but he's really good too, actually. So the combination of the two, the female singer and the guy kind of doing screamo backup vocals, it's a good combination of the two. And I really love this band. I really love this album, actually. So when this was popped up used, I was like, oh yes, I've been looking for this, and it finally came up. And actually from the same seller, I was just searching Exploited, and Beat the Bastards came up for like $10. And I was like, oh yes, I've been looking for this. So it was actually really cool that the I Set to Kill came up. I was really looking for that. I was searching for Beat the Bastards, and that came up. So all this stuff that I was really wanting just seemed to randomly kind of just pop up. And I think this is from '96. This Exploited. So we got a mid-90s Exploited. You know, if you're familiar with Exploited, you know what you're getting yourself into. Some fast, raw, aggressive kind of crossover thrash sort of stuff. And actually we got another crossover thrash for 87, English Dogs, Forward into Battle. And yeah, it's just really killer kind of thrash, crossover thrash. So if you're not familiar with English Dogs, definitely check them out. They kind of got that, punky but thrashy kind of stuff going on. And to complete my Gojira collection, I got the Way of the Flesh. The hardest for me, this was the hardest Gojira to get. Luckily enough, a local seller or not a local, but a Canadian seller had just kind of listed it, and I just kind of became aware that he listed it. And I was like, oh, I need to buy this ASAP. So yeah, I got this. I'm actually really happy to get the Digipack version too, because there's a Digipack and Jewel version. So just super happy to get the Digipack version as well. It just seems a little bit cooler. And yeah, it's in decent shape. There's obviously a couple little nicks and scuffs at the top, but nothing that's visually affecting it from the front. So yeah, super happy to get that. And I have every single Gojira, the first one, the last one, the newest one. I got them all. Super happy to complete that because I have seen them live. So I seen them live in 2016. Did I see them a second time? I think I seen Gojira a second time, but I seen them the first time in 2016. I can't remember if I did see them a second time. Anyway, and then next up they got the newest Carcass here, Torn Arteries. I didn't get this one. It did get released last year, 2021. I forget what month or whatever, but somewhere in the middle half of the year I think it came out. But I didn't actually get it. The prices were a little high, and all of a sudden I check Amazon and it just randomly just dropped with the seller, and I was like, oh man, I need to scoop this up right away. So we got Carcass Torn Arteries, good stuff. I put the hype sticker on the back. If Kim there from This Is Music is watching, he's always talking. He has this little bit about the hype stickers and what do you do with the hype stickers? And if I can peel them off, I'll stick them somewhere respectable. Like I wouldn't like stick it like right. I wouldn't like stick it right overlapping the image or nothing. But I thought for this, it looked decent right in the back, so I put the hype sticker on the back there. And yeah, anyone watching would be familiar with Carcass. If you're not, you're definitely living under a rock. And just keeping going with the Saxon collection. I got Running Free from 1992. Yes, it is 92, because Solid Ball of Rock was 1990, and then 2 years later they came Running Forever Free. I don't know, did I say Running Free? My bad, I meant Forever Free. But this is a solid album. A Solid Ball of Rock is better. It's a little more straightforward rocky, and this is more straightforward rock too. But I think I just prefer Solid Ball of Rock slightly more. Although this album's great too. So yeah, keep going with that Saxon collection. And last up, nobody's gonna know this band, but this is kind of a local band for me. The Wild, just good old school rock and roll. Actually, the name of the album is I Still Believe in Rock and Roll. So I still believe in rock and roll. You all still believe in rock and roll. The Wild still believes in rock and roll. This is the Wild's third album. It's their third album, and then they have an EP, and I have them all now. I actually don't have that first EP that they have. It's hard to get nowadays. But the Wild is like just basically balls out. They do not sound like AC/DC, but I'm going to use the sound like no frills, no goofing around, just straight up rock and roll music. That's what these are. That's what these guys are, the Wild, and yeah, good stuff. It's actually kind of, I don't know. They have a big record deal they have like a global record deal where they can get the albums released in all their different countries. But for me, most of the band members lived a couple hours away from me, so I've seen the Wild 5, 6, 7 times. So I've seen the Wild most live band out of any band I've ever seen live, just because they play all around here and they open up all the local they open up shows for when the medium tier bands come through. They'll be the opening band. So yeah, great to get the newest Wild album that just came out in 2020. And yeah, great stuff. Thanks for checking this CD collection update out. Subscribe, Mosh. See you later.